What's up guys, Max here for Destructoid. Happy Canada Day! If you're living in Canada, you probably have great health care and are enjoying some fries smothered in gravy. 4th of July is happening here in America later this week, and because of that I figured I would kind of screw off a little bit and make my own day. Kaneda Day.
Kaneda! Okay, let's settle this once and for all!
Because I feel like talking about Akira. Akira, if you're unfamiliar, is, well, it's one of the most just groundbreaking, ambitious, influential, really cool pieces of media to ever come out of Japan, in my opinion. The movie came out in 1988. It made a whole bunch of money in Japan. It was really popular there. And then it got brought over to the West, and they gave it a really amazingly horrible dubbing.
That pea-brain!
I'm actually a really big fan of the original shitty dub. They did another dub in 2001 to celebrate the DVD release, which apparently they spent a whole bunch of money on, but it's kind of stupid. It's just kind of like a regular dub that, I mean, it gets the story better, it's better voice acting, but it's just kind of like...
You missed the show.
Tetsuo, you had me worried again.
Of course, if you want to get the full effect, I highly recommend watching Akira subtitled, because that's really the way it's meant to be seen. It's actually rather notable for being one of the first anime feature films to have the voices recorded before animation had begun. So they had all of the people screaming, you know, Kaneda, Tetsuo, at each other, and then they, went in and had the mouths move afterwards. So if you're watching a bunch of English voice actors trying to really convincingly shoehorn translated dialogue into these mouth movements, it's kind of a slap in the face to the wonderful animators who made such a beautiful work of art in the first place. Of course, the movie really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of a mess from a narrative perspective. Technical masterpiece, absolutely breathtaking to watch, but if you're trying to make sense of what's happening, it can be a bit of a tough pill to swallow. For the manga, on the other hand, is this amazing 2,000-page epic. And whereas the movie kind of is like, oh, it's sort of like Biker Blade Runner meets the mutation things happen and the kids they shout at each other and there's a laser at the end. That's the first 2 volumes of the manga. The manga goes on and turns into this whole crazy like post-apocalyptic dystopian, and just everything gets real weird. So definitely check that out. Now obviously this is a video game channel and I'd be some kind of a jerk if I didn't talk about all the wonderful video games that have been made based on Akira. Oh wait, they haven't made any good ones. There is kind of an infamous Famicom version that was never released in the West, and it's sort of like a slideshow text adventure type of thing. So if you find a translated version of that, good on you, but there's really not a whole lot of exciting stuff happening there. An Amiga version was released, I think a London developer made that, and it is infamous for being just a really bad game. But it looks good enough, it looks good in, in screenshots, but apparently controlling it is just an absolute nightmare. Now here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Apparently around 1993, THQ was actually working on several different versions of an Akira game. There was going to be a Super Nintendo one, a Sega Genesis one, a Sega CD one, and then there was like a rumor of a Game Boy one. And really all we have to go on is a bunch of screenshots floating around and a few websites that have interviews with former THQ employees kind of asking what the hell happened. I would love to see a Sega Genesis Akira game. I mean, if it's Road Rash reskinned so that it's at night and you're just playing as, Kaneda and you're fighting the clowns and hitting them with pipes and shit, that would be awesome. Then later on PlayStation 2, Akira Psycho Ball was released, which is a pinball game, which managed to be completely unfaithful to the story, because at no point in the story is it a pinball game. Now to keep rambling on, one of my favorite things about Akira is the soundtrack, which is actually cobbled together by this wonderful collective called Gaino Yamashiro Gumi, which is this chorus made up of hundreds of different Japanese people from all walks of life. There's doctors, scientists, students, artists, I guess actual musicians who all kind of band together and they do these kind of recreations of traditional Japanese folk music, but then they go out and do weird, interesting stuff. They go to different countries and they kind of learn different folk music, and then they do this whole crazy thing with all the taiko drums and the chanting and the stuff like that. Katsuhiro Otomo found them and was like, make me music from the future. And they were like, okay, I guess. And then, so they did a bunch of weird shit with synthesizers, and so we have the Akira soundtrack, which just sounds like really cool, like future music. By all means, go track down the soundtrack, and if you want more, because unfortunately it's kind of short, go check out Gaino Yamashiro Gumi's other album, Echophony Gaia, which came out in 1990, and it sounds pretty much exactly like the Akira soundtrack. Like, it's like volume 2. So get that if you're into it. If futuristic xylophones and chanting isn't really your thing, then there's some more contemporary stuff that actually draws influence from Akira. Kanye West is a fucking idiot. If you like his music, that's cool. I know a lot of people are really into his stuff, but as a person, I just really wish he would just go into the ocean and stay there. But his music video for Stronger is pretty awesome. I'm actually a really big fan of that because it is a loose adaptation of Akira, and Daft Punk is in it, which is kind of great. Another band that drew some influence from Akira in their music videos is M83, and they did kind of this trilogy of music videos. They did, let's see, Midnight City, Reunion, and then Wait. All kind of form this interesting visual story that follows these superpowered kids, and they go off and they do some telekinetic shit, which is pretty cool to watch. Now, if you're looking for some movies that have kind of a similar thing going on to Akira, there's Blade Runner, Ridley Scott's just brilliant neo-noir, cyberpunk, future, Harrison Ford, cyborg movie. Go see that. If you haven't seen that, don't tell me because I'll just get mad. Just go see it. It's really simple. Because if you tell me you haven't seen it and you're like, I haven't seen Blade Runner, I'm just going to be like, fuck you, go drown. Or see it. Which you drown or see it. It's a really good movie. I'm very, very passionate about it. Anyway, there's also Terry Gilliam's Brazil, which has some kind of very similar imagery to what's going on in Akira here and there. And it's incredibly weird because it's Terry Gilliam and he was in Monty Python and then he got real serious. And then more recently, there's Chronicle, which is kind of like the closest we're probably going to get to a decent American Akira. It's about a bunch of kids, and one of them gets some superpowers, and some shit happens, and yeah. Finally, if you're a really big fan of Akira, you should go to the Olympics in 2020, because Neo Tokyo is about to explode. Seriously, that's kind of a weird thing. In Akira, they're getting ready for the Olympics, which are going to take place in 2020. In Tokyo. Guess where the actual Olympics are taking place in 2020? That's kind of creepy. I hope kids don't start blowing up shit with their brains. Anyway, I'm Max Scoville for Destructoid, telling you about Akira, which I'm very fond of. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you haven't read it, go read it, because it's wonderful, it's great, it's a really cool thing. It'll make you a more well-rounded human being if you go and watch some methed out Japanese telekinetic teenagers screaming at each other and shooting lasers all over the fucking place while stuff turns into cysts and the universe explodes.
Just when my coil's reaching the green line.
Happy Kaneda Day, everybody.